Hi everyone, welcome to Buckle Up Podcast. I'm Natalia Earle and I'm a certified business and life coach that loves talking to people. I'm fascinated by humans and how our brain works. What is it that makes a decision good or bad, and how does that decision ultimately shape our path and destiny? Everyone loves to talk about success, but what about the flip side? How about adversity? Failure is such a big and often necessary part of life, and it's simply unavoidable. So I invite you to join me on this inspiring, honest, unpolished interview show with breathtakingly real conversations that go deep on setbacks and hardships that are part of the puzzle that ultimately lead to growth, discovery of inner greatness, and what makes us resilient. Grab your helmet and buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. But what a ride it will be. Today I sat down with Dr. John Jaquish, who has spent years researching and developing improved approaches to health. He's the inventor of the most effective bone density building medical technology, which is now partnered with Tony Robbins and OsteoStrong for rapid clinic deployment. Dr. J is an inventor of X3, a technology that is proven to develop muscle much faster than conventional weightlifting, all with the lowest risk of joint injury. His methods are used in training the world's most elite athletes and associations, such as the entire Miami Heat organization, various NFL and NBA players, as well as Olympians. Dr. Jaquish has been called the Tony Stark of the fitness industry by the Chicago Tribune, has been featured on many of the top health podcasts. He speaks at scientific conferences all over the world, is an editor of multiple medical journals, and is a research professor at Rushmore University.
And then, of course, how you found me is through my other product, X3. When doing the research for OsteoStrong, I discovered something that should have been obvious, but wasn't, because nobody ran my exact test in my clinical trial of like what different positions people are capable of generating force in. So like somebody can have, like when you go to do a push-up, you know, it's very difficult when your nose is against the ground, but when you extend your arms out, it becomes very easy.
Right.
So the difference between those positions is sevenfold. You're actually 7 times stronger when your arm is almost at full extension than when it's close to your body, and then when the ground is close to your body. So why would we ever train with a static weight if we know this? Now, of course, nobody really knew it. So I, kind of forgive everybody for not doing something different. But when you understand that, there's only one conclusion you can come to, and that's weightlifting is a terrible way to stimulate muscle growth. And we have such a variability in capacity to create force, then we ought to be stimulating growth or fatiguing a muscle in the same manner. We need to change the weight as we move, which is what forced me to write the book, Weightlifting is a Waste of Time. Now, and you just finished that book.
Yes, I loved it. It really, truly blew me away. And I love the one sentence that you have in there is, mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work unless it's open. So when I was observing all this new learned information from you, I was truly blown away, because I'm a runner. I'm not a long distance runner, but I truly do enjoy running, doing a little bit of cardio. And I was always told, oh, that's so great, and it's going to help you with the weight loss. And then more and more I read your research, more and more I was like, well, my joints hurt, my knees bother me, and everything was like coming true, me understanding and reading through your research. And same as you say, that weightlifting is a waste of time. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah. The book, like it's an attention grabbing title, but I won't waste my time lifting weights. I'm stronger than most people. I'm leaner than most people. I'm more muscular than most people. And I don't lift weights. I don't risk joint injury ever.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a better way of doing it. I work out about 10 minutes a day, 6 times a week. But I mean, I work out at home. In fact, that wine barrel right back there, right behind me,
Yeah.
that's where I keep the X3. Like, it's just in my living room. So like, and you could put it in a drawer, but I want it easily accessible. I don't even want to have to open a drawer because I have so many people coming over that want to see it and want to check it out. I entertain a lot. I shouldn't say easy. The workout I do is not easy. It's 10 minutes. It is like the hardest workout you'll ever do. But I find most people are not lazy. Most people just don't have the time.
Right. Or don't know what to do. Like, for example, for me, I didn't go to the gym because I would get intimidated. I didn't know my way around it. And then a couple of times that I've gone, I've hurt myself.
Sure.
So it was very hard for me to get in there. Right. Mm-hmm. But then when and like I said, I've ordered your X3. I've been using it. This is my 2nd week and I absolutely love it. I think I call it like an idiot proof. Like everybody can do it.
As long as you follow the instructions. Let me tell you, it's not idiot proof because there are plenty of idiots who decide to edit the program. They decide they're going to add in something extra and they're going to get extra results. And because they don't understand the science, usually they end up doing much worse because they're causing overtraining or maybe some other problem or a joint problem or something like that. I don't know what it is that empowers people to think they're physiology experts. And probably because most of the articles written out there are written by very simple people who don't know what they don't know.
Right.
That's big. It's like the academic community knows what they don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know. Now, I tell people like, oh, you think you know the answer to everything. No, I don't. But I know the answers to the questions that you have. Mm-hmm. So do I know everything? No, but I got a lot of really important information that can really optimize your training and take you to a completely different level. And coincidentally, athletes have noticed there's 17 NFL players that I have taken far beyond when they entered the league. Usually when somebody enters the league, they know they can't get injured. So they stop taking training risks because their contract could be, at any moment, they could lose their contract. That's and right now, the Western diet is 70% plant-based.
And we're still sick.
We're fatter and sicker than ever. So is going 80% plant-based or 90% or 100% plant-based going to make us better? I don't think so. And I got plenty of evidence, which I put in the book, to show that that's not the way to go. And do I want to be nice to animals? Sure. 7 billion animals are destroyed every year because of vegetable farming. So vegans aren't saving anything. Just because the squirrels and the birds had to be poisoned by the tens of thousands to grow lettuce, that doesn't absolve somebody of responsibility. And they want to say, well, I just don't want to hurt anything. Too bad. When you're any species that is taking resources from another species, and in this case, it's land, we're taking land away from nature. The natural habitat was eating there. So when the birds come back to the forest, they used to eat all the seeds at, and now it's a cornfield. They go, great, we'll eat the corn. Well, it turns out there's little buckets of seeds that are above the corn that they'll eat before they get to the corn. But those are poisoned. So the birds all drop dead by the tens of thousands. I don't know. I mean, you're not no matter what, any species that's taking resources from another species is taking life. There's limited resources everywhere. And if you've got an expanding population, you're destroying life. That's just the way the world works. So it's just very naive to, here's another thing. In California, people like driving electric cars like they're saving the world. And they talk about that like endlessly. But the power that goes into their plug-in car is from a coal-burning power plant. So they didn't save anything.
Right.
Now, you live in France and all the power is nuclear, then yes, you have no carbon footprint. That's great.
You eat once a day and you eat a lot of meat or animal products.
I eat one meal a day, and most of what I eat, almost everything I eat, is just red meat.
Mm-hmm. And now you have majority of people screaming veganism is the way to be, you know, don't eat animals, it's bad for you, it gives you this cancer and that cancer and colon cancer.
All fraudulent research. That none of that's true. I mean, if you decide to eat all vegetables, truly all vegetables, like imagine there's no such thing as processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
You will die very quickly because you can't get enough calories in your body to live if you're just eating fruits and vegetables. The nutrients aren't dense enough. So if you're eating, you can eat leaves all day long and or plants, potatoes, whatever. Like you cannot get enough calories to keep from dying. Like you just wither away to nothing. But a lot of companies are funding research that favors veganism. So they're trying to prove that veganism is healthy. And these companies are General Mills, General Foods, Nabisco, Nestle. Why are they doing that? Because they know vegans, since they're not dropping dead, we know they're not eating kale. So what are they eating? They're eating cookies and cake. So part of the reason there's an emotional tie with these people to their nutrition is because they get to eat junk food all the time. They're 24/7 junk food. And I mean, is that fun? I guess if you have the self-control of a 2-year-old, maybe, but that's really what they're eating. They're eating highly processed foods. And will that keep them alive? Yeah, from a calorie perspective, but all kinds of chronic cellular inflammatories are going into their bodies. Oxalates, that's like every plant has oxalates, which is a low-grade poison. Now, I think like a deer has something like, this is just from memory, and it's a huge magnitude factor. It's like they have 10,000 times the tolerance to oxalates than we do. So it doesn't bother them. They can eat plants, but we get bothered by it. We get things like irritable bowel syndrome or Crohn's disease from these chronic cellular inflammatories that we're ingesting. Vegetable oils are total.
And do you recommend fasting for a couple of days a month, like completely not eating anything for 48 to 72 hours?
I love 72-hour fasts. They're great. I've done 5-day fasts. I've done 5-day water fasts where all I have is water. I've done 5-day dry fasts where I have had no food and no water for 5 straight days. Yeah. Big fan of fasting. I find it very difficult for people to do. A lot of people talk about it. Very few people actually go and do it. So the biggest problem with nutrition is the best, good friend of mine, the CEO of OsteoStrong told me this. He says, the best diet is the diet people will follow. He says, so you can talk about fasting and only eating meat, but like I come across people all the time that are like, gosh, I'm really depressed. I've been overweight for years. I don't really know what to do. And they're like, but I don't want to change my diet. And it's like, okay, so you're obese and you became obese because of the way you eat, but you're unwilling to change that. So why would you think that would work?